Greetings from Dunrovin Ranch.
Hi, everyone. This is Suzanne and Kelly.
Long-suffering
Ranch Manager Kelly.
That's my full name. And you're gonna know why I'm long-suffering in a few minutes.
Yeah. And we are here with our delightful donkey divas.
Yes.
Yes, these guys truly are divas. They love to be the center of attention, particularly around feeding time. What do they do at feeding time, Kelly?
That was a sigh. They very loudly and impolitely ask to be fed first.
Yes.
Is what they do.
Yes. And sometimes if they aren't fed first, they pace around. And then when they are let out to find their hay, they come kicking up their heels and bucking. And
they run and run and run. They're quite hilarious.
Yes. And I have to say, they're very smart. Donkeys are incredibly smart, and they're very different from horses. I'll tell you some differences here in a moment.
Very different.
Very different. But these guys know how to open their stalls. Mm-hmm. And not only do they know how to open their stalls, but they can open everybody else's stalls.
Yes.
Yeah. And on more than one occasion, they have done that.
Oh, yes, they have.
Yeah. And so one of the things that we have to do is put these special bungee cords around the stalls where the donkeys are, because they have like a sixth sense too.
They know.
I mean, they know when it's loose. They seem to know when it's not quite attached correctly.
You'll see them all season long.
Yeah.
Trying the gates.
Trying the gates. And then if they get out, they run around and announce party time and let everybody else out. So
the real reason they do that is to steal everyone else's food.
Yes.
So that's the reason.
That's right. They're not inviting them to eat with them. They're looking to get more treats. Mm-hmm. They're what they're called easy keepers. And
yes.
that is...
they're very easy keepers.
Very easy keepers. They put weight on very quickly. And that is in part of their evolution. Donkeys evolved in Africa in very, very harsh conditions. So they're hardy animals. They can eat things that horses can't eat. They can go long periods of time without water. They have extremely hard feet. And unlike horses, when donkeys are threatened, they tend to stop, assess the situation, and they will fight.
Yes.
And in fact, donkeys are used as guard animals in many places of the world to guard sheep.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and this summer, if you stay tuned and keep watching with us, you will see that when strangers bring strange dogs,
oh yes,
they go into protection mode. Now they don't with Cola and Jewel, because they know Cola and Jewel. But if a new dog comes sniffing around, they will get into that mood of chasing. They'll put their head down and they'll chase the dogs away, and they'll kick at them. And so whenever people come with a dog, we always say, you better have them on a leash if you go near the donkeys.
That's true.
Yeah, because your dogs had to get used to them.
Yes, they did. I still don't let them. Well, I think that these guys got used to my dogs knowing that they weren't predators necessarily.
Right. Yeah. But they are very different. They're fighters, not flighters.
No, they are fighters.
Right.
And
so,
boy, they have a kick.
Yeah, they will, and they can kick hard.
They can kick hard.
Yeah, they can. So these are what
these
some
are
people call these miniature donkeys, but they were bred in Greece. These are from the Sicilian islands of Greece, so they're actually Sicilian donkeys.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a special subspecies of Sicilian donkeys. They're smaller than the other donkeys in Africa.
Stop it.
And these guys are, directly from a stock that came from Sicily. These two came from a ranch about 300 miles east of here.
Oh.
Yep. And I got to tell you how donkeys came to Dunrovin first, okay? I used to be a consultant, and every now and then people would ask me to do a project in another part of Montana, and I would ask them if I could bring my horse. You can imagine the silence that I was greeted with on the phone. And what this always meant was that they had to find me a ranch to stay at, because I could stay with my horse. So I went to this one ranch. It was outside of Bozeman, and every morning I got up really early to take a horseback ride before the work that I was doing, and they had this donkey. His name was Ankh. And he
Onk-
would
onk the donk?
Onk the donkey, yeah. And he would come while I was saddling up my horse, and he would demand to be petted, and he just was so much fun. And he would ride out with me until I got to the top of this bluff. And then he knew I was going to be going on, so he would sort of look at me and look at the barn, look at me and look at the barn, tip his hat and go back to the barn. And I fell in love with Ankh. I mean, I couldn't believe what fun he was. So I came home and I told my husband that I wanted a donkey. And
Sure.
he said, "What on earth do you want a donkey for?" And my response was, "Well, comic relief, of course."
That's funny. That's my answer too. I didn't know it was your. It really is my. I didn't know that was your
Yes.
answer. Oh, by
Yes.
osmosis.
Yes,
Be careful.
absolutely. I mean, what use are they otherwise?
Comic relief.
Comic
That's
relief.
really it.
Yeah. So my husband
And
didn't
to wear,
say
and to
no.
wear clothes.
Exactly, exactly. My husband didn't say no, so I interpreted that as a resounding yes.
Of course.
Of course. And I called.
It wouldn't have made any difference if he'd said no anyway.
Well, it might have. It might have taken longer.
Yeah, right. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
it.
So I called the ranch and I said, "I'm interested in getting a donkey like Ankh." And they said, "Well, he has a son at a ranch near Twin Bridges." So I called and I bought Senior Kona, that was the name they had given him, sight unseen. This was Ankh's
It's the best way to get an animal.
best way to get an animal. And as it turns out, he was a month and a half younger than my foal, which is Lady Lonza.
Oh.
So I brought him back, and the two of them were foals together, and they bonded, and it was the funniest thing you've ever seen. A baby donkey and this big horse.
Yes.
She was big, just like her son is.
Yeah. Oh.
And she'd go off galloping in the fields, and he'd come with his little donkey run afterwards.
Oh,
and it was
cute.
Beauty and the Beast.
Very. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, Senior Kona was here for a number of years, and he became ill one winter day, and he died, and it really put a hole in my heart. But I thought, well, that's it for donkeys. I'm not going to get
Right.
any.
Well-
I don't need a donkey, right?
And then blah blah blah.
And then blah blah blah. I couldn't stand it. Couldn't
Right.
stand the lack of the bray. So I started looking around, and this ranch in Lewistown said, "Well, we've got half sisters, and one's gray and one's chocolate brown."
Well, that's nice.
That's really nice. You can tell them apart. So
Uh-huh.
I got in my truck and took my trailer and brought them home.
And their personalities are very
Their
different too.
personalities are very different.
She's
And-
bossier.
Yep, older. She's the older half sister.
She's the older
I think she
half-sister.
was born in August, I want to say.
Okay.
Her birthday's in August, and this one's in October.
Same year.
Same year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So they had
And she's more demure.
different moms but the same dad.
Okay.
Okay.
And so like a horse, a dam is a horse's mother, and a sire. Is it dam and sire for
no,
donkeys
it's
too?
Jack and Jenny.
Jack and Jenny.
A Jack donkey and a Jenny donkey.
Ah.
Or a Jeanette. Some of them call them Jeanette.
Okay.
And for those of you who are unaccustomed to equines, a mule is half donkey and
Half horse.
Half horse. Mm-hmm. And almost always in that combination, it's the horse that's the mother. Because donkeys are smaller generally than
Generally.
horses. So they have a donkey father and a horse mother. That makes a mule.
Okay.
Most of whom are infertile.
Yes.
There have been mules that have reproduced, but very, very few.
Come here, Mama.
Okay, so
So,
I'm gonna
so
ask
Gertie
you-
and Maud.
This is Gertie.
I remember Gray for Gertie. That's why I
Yes.
remember Gertie. And
Yes.
she's a little bigger.
And
And,
little-
even though she seems sweeter, she's underneath it all.
Oh, she's got her
Underneath
feisty
it all,
side.
she'll get you.
Yeah. So she was named after my grandmother, Gertrude.
Right?
Yeah, and she reminds me of my grandmother, kind of pushy, kind of bossy. Yeah.
And she got Gray eventually.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
I got Gray eventually, and she had a younger sister named Maud, Miss
Mm-hmm.
Maud. So I know that my grandmother's up in heaven smiling.
Mm-hmm.
She would enjoy both of these gals. But those of you who have been with us for a long time know that Mackenzie used to come out and train them, and there's a little remnants of his training, and we hope to get him back working with
Yay.
us soon.
And
But
I
think-
accidentally discovered a trick.
yes. So take it away.
I
here.
thought so. So Gertie was rearing up at me, and I'm like, "Well, that's rude." And then, if a horse reared up at me, I'm like, "Whoa, are
Yeah.
you going to strike me, Gertie?"
Right.
Turned out that she was begging.
Yeah.
That she's been trained to rear for treats.
Right.
And I'm going to also turn her sideways so you can see better. Also, I'm going to turn her sideways. You wonder how they're easy keeper means they don't need to eat much.
Right.
Look at this.
Yeah.
And this is also why we don't. Excuse me a second.
Getting caught up in the wires.
Yes.
Ropes
So
and
this
wires.
is why also that the donkeys aren't out eating with the Shetlands,
Right. Or the
or
grass.
Crow, or the captains, anybody, because they would first of all they would take everyone's food, and they really don't need it. And it's not just a joke that they're heavy. It could be very dangerous.
Yeah.
And you might hear there's a horse who misses them already. They're quite the charmers. That they have a spotted admirer around the corner. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Can you do a little bit
better
better?
than that.
Good enough?
Good enough.
Isn't that crazy?
Well,
It's pretty cute.
it is cute.
And they also bray on command, I
They
guess.
do bray on command. We have to get Mackenzie back, and he will come back this spring when the weather warms up a little bit. But basically, our donkeys are our mascots.
Yes.
Right. And they just love going places and greeting people.
And we're going on a trip with the donkeys.
We're going on a trip with the donkeys.
Love it.
Yeah. So this is going to really start our donkey training program this week.
Yes, Sunday.
And you have a partner in crime, don't
I have
you?
a partner in crime, Kate, who
Yeah.
I believe you've met. She also does our lovely diva illustrations.
She's an artist.
She's a good artist, and she's a baker at one of the best bakeries, well, the best bakery in Missoula.
She once
She's
made
also,
a cake for me with pictures of the divas on it.
Oh, awesome. And she's James's wife.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. She's going to be my co-trainer. Also for Valentine's Day this Thursday, although she can't be here, she's making cupcakes with a special dad logo on the top.
Oh,
and
fun.
I have no idea, but she won't be here, but the cupcakes will be here. And also on Sunday, we will be debuting the Divas outfits, because not only the comic relief, I mean, they're funny enough as it is, but when they have clothes on, I guess they're even funnier.
Yeah.
So
and they have a number of outfits.
They have a number of outfits, and we're taking them to participate in the International Wildlife Festival Parade.
Right.
And we have special outfits for that. The theme for them is Wild Thing. And I'm going to leave it at that for now.
Okay.
And they have bling, and they've got everything.
Yeah.
They're really a lot of fun, and often you'll see the little kids for Pony Club grooming them and playing with them. So Gertie and Maude, you'll always know when it's feeding time, because they're like alarm clocks.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going to happen over the next 2 months? The Wild Walk is in mid-April in Missoula, and it kicks off the International Wildlife Film Festival. And Dunrovin has in the past collaborated with the Wildlife Film Festival in a number of ways. We have them come out here for a party, because they have producers from all over the world who want to kind of see Montana, so we have a little taste of Montana out here. Mm-hmm. And then last year, many of you will remember, we broadcast some of their first run films, and they're beautiful.
They were wonderful.
They're really wonderful, and they're generally just shorts, you know, somewhere between...
I like shorts.
Yeah.
You don't have to invest a lot of time.
Yeah. 15 minutes to an hour is generally the time frame for those. And we will do that again this year.
Scares me.
And they have this wild walk where kids and adults and animals dress up, and we plan on stopping on our way home, don't we? Where are we going to stop?
Yeah, so Kate and I will be taking the Divas. We'll be in the parade, and we have special outfits and the theme, and we might even have music. And then we are, oh my gosh. And then we are going to load them back over the trailer, and we're going to make a trip to Brookdale. The
Yes.
Divas will be
Coming
roaming
to
the halls, I think, of Brookdale. So fun.
Yeah, beware. If you live
Beware.
at Brookdale, beware. You're going to
Beware.
have the Divas come for a visit.
Now, a few residents came here, and a few have met the Divas.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah,
Right.
the Divas will be there.
Yes, indeed. So in order to do this, there are a number of things that both Kelly and Kate will have to learn about donkeys. And they are very different from horses. You don't lead a donkey, you drive a donkey. And so that's quite a bit different than you lead a horse and drive a donkey. So they will
So
be
you can
learning.
so that means you can drive a donkey to drink?
Yeah, yeah. But you can't lead
Lead a horse, that's what I'm saying.
Very good.
Thank you.
Exactly. So this coming week we're going to get started, and it's been a while since the Divas have been out and about. So
Oh boy.
yeah, oh boy is right. So both the trainers are new, and the donkeys are rusty.
What could possibly
What
go
could
wrong?
possibly go wrong with this? I don't understand.
I don't know. Nothing will go wrong.
We will start Sunday with some lessons on driving donkeys.
Yes?
Yep. And then you will have to, get them back in the trailer, the Diva Mobile.
So that will be on Sundays. We will
Right.
be working with the Divas, but I also have some Thursdays on the calendar during which I'm going to work with the Divas. So if you keep an
Okay.
eye on the calendar, you'll be able to tell
When we're going to be playing.
what the Diva
with
days
the
are and what's
the
going
Divas,
on.
Yeah.
Every
Okay.
Tuesday and Thursday we have something interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
And Sundays are Diva Day. You'd think it'd be a day of rest.
Every day is Diva Day. in
Every
their
day
minds.
is Diva
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are a lot of fun.
They're a lot of fun.
And they're just really sweet little animals. There's one other way in which we use them. And I think you participated in this since you've been here, Emily. That is, we have what we call the Donkey Challenge.
Yes, the Donkey Challenge.
The Donkey Challenge, yeah.
And that's where you move them without touching them. You move them through a little obstacle course without touching them.
Yeah.
And that's
And it's a team event. And donkeys can be extremely stubborn. They don't, and they're very sensitive to body language. So if you try to be aggressive with them, they'll run and hide in a corner.
or kick you.
Or kick at you, and or they won't move at all. So they just stand there. So to get a donkey to move through a prescribed route takes some team effort, and it's kind of a team challenge.
Yes.
And people really love doing it because it requires some real cooperation on the part of everybody. It's
And
kind
this
of a
I know what
team-building
she's saying now. She's saying, "Would you please stop holding this rope so I can get out of here?" I can read donkey.
thing. You can read donkey.
Yeah.
Well, James, do we have any questions about our Divas? Why don't you show them the stripe? All the donkeys have the stripe.
All donkeys have stripe. What is that? A vestige of an ancient?
It's a dorsal stripe, and you can see it on Gertie. It's harder to see on Maud, but I mean, she's got it. It's darker, but it's hard to see with her
Yes,
lovely
Suzanne. They
brown
both have
coat.
the cross.
Yep. And of course, people, claim that came from carrying Mary into Bethlehem. That's
Okay.
a vestige of that.
Okay.
I don't know how true that is, but they do have crosses on their backs, and they have different kind of fur from.
Yes, they
the
don't have
horses.
the. Yes, that's right.
And so they need shelter. These are desert animals, They're not like the horses. So in the wintertime, the donkeys always have shelter because their fur gets wet. And when it gets wet, it doesn't have the same insulating properties that a horse's coat does. So they have to stay out of the driving rain. They need shelter.
Sometimes they'll be out, but you'll see
Yeah.
us, especially if it's cold and wet at the same time.
Yeah.
But they prefer to be out.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they really do.
All of them all like being out better, but for their own good.
For their own
If it's
good.
if it's that driving rain, we try to keep them dry anyway. Okay. And they get their hooves trimmed. They don't wear shoes. And we did make stamps from their hooves. They're Divas. And they have publicity photos, and like any celebrity, they don't go around signing. They have their own signing machine.
Oh,
That would be
they'll
us
have
with a
Kate and me.
stamp.
They'll have us signing for them, undoubtedly. Now, didn't Ma have a facial? Doesn't she have a sun reaction or something like that?
Well, she had mange one time.
Oh.
Mange on
Mange,
her face.
Maude.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing.
I'm sure.
Oh, she didn't like it at
Did
all.
you have her
although she
Beverly
did like
Hills
the cream.
dermatologist come out and all that?
Yeah, we did. We had all kinds of special cream for her. She liked that part.
I bet.
Yeah.
This last year wasn't so bad. A touch of it, but not terrible.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're fit as fiddles.
Yeah.
Well,
a little on the portly side.
Well, like any celebrity, easy, Jewel.
Yeah.
She eats well, her diet's a little rich.
That's right. That's right.
But they're a blast. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And also something I learned, I said, but who's going to pick up the manure at Brookdale? I said,
Yes.
and I learned something.
Yes.
They have
Bum bags.
basically diapers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They're bum bags that all horses that were in cities wore bum bags at one time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Carriage, if you look at a carriage in New York City, they all have bum bags.
It's like a big leather bag.
big leather bag. Yep.
Well, I think
And-
Kate can learn how to deal with those. Are you listening, Kate?
Yeah. You know, like everything else, you have to accustom them to wearing it.
Yeah, we'll
they
get
don't
used-
normally like things behind them
No.
like that. But
It could be a predator. That,
yeah,
you know.
that's right. But they're good with it.
We'll,
And
we'll have to
they
relearn
learn them all
everything with
around.
them in the next, real quickly, actually.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah.
smart.
Oh, they're very smart.
Yeah, very clever.
Oh, look at you. All right.
Yeah.
If I don't think we have any other questions,
other
we've answered
questions?
them all.
Well,
So I'm going to leave them loose out here so you all can actually watch up on the ranch cam for the afternoon if you'd like.
yeah. They like these treats. I got a few more in my,
Yeah,
in
I'm
my
all out.
pocket. Maybe we better unload the rest of the treats, huh?
I don't have any pocket on any garment that doesn't have something in it. You too?
Hay,
Hey.
carrots, treats.
There's on the internet you'll say things like LOL, laugh out loud, and all these little. Well, there's one that horse people have, and it's called HIB. Do you know what that means?
HIV,
HIB.
HIB. Hands in pockets. What?
Hay in bra.
Well, I've certainly had enough of hay.
I guess that's only for the women.
It's true, though.
It's true, though.
Really
It's
true.
unbelievable.
And then in the springtime, when all the animals are shedding and you put chapstick on,
Oh, don't.
you end up with the hairy lips. And,
Oh,
yeah.
it's a whole thing. But we act like we're complaining, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it's true.
All righty.
It's true. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you got to meet the Divas. Thank you. I haven't been able to say the word balmy in my weather update.
Yeah.
It could be considered balmy considering what it's been.
Yeah, it's above 20 now.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's very nice. It feels good.
Yeah.
It feels very good.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if we have no
We
other
let 'em out?
comments, thank
Let
you
'em
for
go?
joining us.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll see you all
I'll see you on
Bye.
What day is it? I'll see you on Thursday.
Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.